Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Ban Your Ren-Lines by Megan33, and I love Megan33's puzzles. He always does a really good job of creative ways of looking about the rules, and this looks like it's no exception. Anyways, here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the grid with the digits 1 through 9 without repeats in any row, column, or box. Magenta lines are both Renban lines and sum lines, which is why you are sum banning your Ren lines. Okay? Renban means digits placed on a line must be a non-repeating set of consecutive digits in any order. So all these lines are Renban lines. They are also magenta lines. Or sorry, they're magenta. They are sum lines too. So that means for the Renban portion, the digits placed must be a non-repeating, so you cannot have repeats on the Renban, set of consecutive digits. So as an example, this could be something like 6, 4, 3, and 5, right? And this works because these are non-repeating and they are consecutive with each other. 3, 4, 5, and 6 is all consecutive. And that's the rule for Renban. There's also a sum line, where box borders divides the line into segments of equal sum. Well, this works this way with also, because this box border divides this line into the segment here and a segment here. And this segment adds up to 9, 3, and 6, and this segment adds up to 9, because it's 4 and 5. And so therefore, this works as both a Renban line and a region sum line, which is why we're trying to sum ban our Ren lines. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. Well, what does that mean? This is actually very symmetrical. The only difference is this little Renban sum line, Ren sum line here. These must be the digits 1 through 9 because there are no repeats. But interestingly enough, so these digits must be different than from these, and it can't be different. It must be different from these, so they have to be the same as these digits. Well, where are these digits then in row 5? Can't be here, can't be here. They all have to be here. So similarly, these digits are different from these digits, and they're different from these digits, so they have to be these digits. So they have to also be those digits there too. And these digits must not be these digits because they see them in normal Sudoku. The Renban forces these not to be the same as these, so they have to be here. So these three are the same as these three. That's actually very interesting. I'm not sure what that tells us, but it tells us something. Okay, on a Renban that's of length 5, you will always have a 5. So 5 in this box, in box 1, has to be on this Renban. Similarly in this one, because it's essentially symmetrical, except it's rotationally symmetrical except for this part right here, which is probably what differentiates between whether it can be high or low or something. Anyways, what does that mean? This cannot be a 5. Well, on this Renban, we need a 5. Actually, yeah, what consecutive digits add up to each other with that are divided by 3 if you sum them all up. What you cannot have, if you take the first 7 digit, 1 through 7, you cannot have that, right? Because the digits 1 through 7 add up to 28, which is not divisible by 3. So this cannot be 1 through 7 here because this is 7 digits. What if you had 2 through 8? That's essentially 35 because you don't have 1 and 9. So because that's 45 minus 10, which is 35, which is also not divisible by 3. So this must be the digits 3 through 9. And 3 through 9 added up is 42. So 42 divided by 3 must be 14. So these two digits add up to 14. These two digits add up to 14. So this is 5 and 9, or 6 and 8. This is 5 and 9, and 6 and 8, which means these have to be 3, 4, and 7 to add up to 14, which they do. Now, since these two add up to 14, we know all 3 of these must add up to 15. So, since these are 14, this must be a 1. And this is equivalent here, right? This has to be 5, 6, 8, 9. This is now then 1, 5, 6, 8, 9 as a possibility. This must be a 1, and this is 5, 6, 8, 9. And this is 3, 4, and 7. Well, since this cannot have a 5 because of the 5 on this Ren band, this must specifically be 6, 8. Which means this can't be 6 or 8, so this must be 5, 9 here. Which means this is a 1, 5, 9 triplet. Which means this is a 1, 5, 9 triplet. Again, this has to be 6 and 8 because of the 5 here. And because there's a 6 in this box already, which is being used, because of the 6-8 pair, this Ren band cannot contain a 6. The only Ren band that's 5-linked that cannot contain a 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this specifically then has to be 1 through 5. This can't be 1. These then must be 7 or 9 because of the remaining digits. Similarly, this is the same way. So this is 1 through 5. This can't be 1. This has to be a 7-9 pair. This 7-9 pair eliminates 7 and 9 the rest of the column. So this must be 5. This must be 9. Same here. This must be 5. This must be 9. What else do we have? The remaining digits here are 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. They asked to add up to 15, though. So it's either 2, 6, 7, or it's 3... No, that's not right. Yeah, 2, 6, 7, or 3, 4, 8. Well, the problem with... Okay, so it's 2... Huh, that's interesting. Okay. Right, the remaining digits are 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. The only ways you can have them both add up to 15 is 2, 6, 7, and 3, 4, and 8. So, what does that mean? Where can the 9 be, actually, in row 1? It cannot be here, so the 9 has to be one of these 4. That's interesting. That also doesn't really tell us much. This cannot be 5 here. This cannot be 5 here. These digits, if it's, okay, so it's either 2, 6, 7, or it's 3, 4, 8, right? Well, 2 cannot be in a 4-length round band with 6 or 7, right? 2 can only be at most 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 2 cannot be with 6 or 7. It has to specifically be 6 or 7 if this is 6 or 7 and this is 2. So similarly, this is 6 or 7, that's 2, if this is 2, 6, 7. If it's 3, 4, and 8, Sim 8 cannot be in a 4-length Ren band with 3 or 4, right? Because 8 is at least 8, 7, 6, 5. So this is 8, and these are 3 and 4 as possibilities. If this is 6 and 7, these must add up with these two digits. So it would have to be 5 and 8 if that's the case. If this is 3 or 4, it must add up with these two digits and still be on a run band, so it would have to be 2 and 5. Either way, this is 5. So this is also 5, 2, and 8, and 5 has to be here, which means this cannot be 5, and this can't be 5. Okay. So the question is, what is this, right? If the 9 is on this Ren band, it has to be 6, 9 with 7 and 8 to add up to 15 on both sides. Well, this side can never be 7, 8 here because we have a 3, 4, 7 triplet here. So if this is 9, this would have to be 7, 8 here, and this would be 6, 9. So 9 can never be here on this Ren band. Because again, it would have to be 6, 9 here and 7, 8 here, but that's not allowed because of the 3, 4, 7. So we know one of these two is a 9. Okay, this cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4 because either 3 or 4 has to be here, but they're not allowed in the 3, 4, 7 triplet. Same with 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 or 5 has to be here because one of them has to be 4 on one side and 5 has to be on the other side. 2 and 5 would be together, 3 and 4 would be together. But 4 and 5 cannot both be here. So that 2, 3, 4, 5 does not work. 3, 4, 5, 6 has the same problem, but it's with specifically 3 and 4. Right? You have to have 3 and 6 added together, or 4 and 5. So this must be 3 or 4, but 3 or 4 are both here. 4, 5, 6, 7 does not work because of the same problem. That you have one of these has to be 4, 7 or 5, 6. And if this is 4, 7, we already have a 3, 4, 7 triplet here. If it's 5, 6, this already has a 5 here. What about 5, 6, 7, 8? If we have 5, 6, 7, 8, either this is 5, 8, which we cannot be because 5 is here, or it's 6, 7, which we cannot happen because 7 is here. Therefore, this does have to be a 9. So this has to be 9 then, with 6, and this must be 7 or 8, which means this cannot be 7, this can't be 6, so that makes this 8, which makes that a 6. This is 7 and 8. Well, where is the 8 in row 3? It has to be here. So this has to be specifically 5 and 8. 5 and 8 must be with 6 and 7 to add up to each other, which is 13, and still be a Ren band. So this must be 2 with the 6, 7 to add up to 15. This must be 8, which makes this 3, 4, which makes this a 2, 5 pair. This can't be 2 because of this 2, so this must be 5, which makes that a 2. This 8 means this can't be 8, so this is 5, which makes that an 8. Therefore, neither of these can be 5, so that forces this to be the 5. We kind of probably already knew that, actually. We have now a 3, 4, 7 triplet in column 5, which eliminates 3, 4, and 7 from the rest of the column. So this can't be 7 or 3 or 4. So this must be 6, which makes that 7. The remaining digits are 1 and 9. So this is 1 or 9, this is 1 or 9, but this can't be 9 because of that 9. So this is 1, which makes that a 9. This can't be 2 here. The remaining digit in box 2 is 2. So this is 2, which means this can't be 2. None of these can be 1. We now have a 2, 3, 4, 5 quadruplet in row 1, which eliminates 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the rest of the row. So this must be a 6. These 3 digits cannot contain 6, 7, or 8, so the only possibilities are 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5, all of which contain a 3. So 3 has to be here. 5, where's the 5 in row 1? It has to be one of these 2 cells because it cannot be any of these cells. Therefore, this can't be 5 here. And one of these 3 must be 5, but this can't be 5 here. So this is 5, or that's a 5. This can't be 7 because of the 7, 9 pair in the column, so this must be 8, which makes that a 7. One of these must be... Okay, so this is 3, 4, and 8. And this is 2, 6, and 7. Well, this can't be 6 because of the 6, 8 pair in the column. This can't be 6 because of the 6 in the column. This can't be 7 because of the 7 in the column. Therefore, this is 2, this is 7, this is 6. This can't be 8 because of the 8 in the column. This can't be 8 because of the 6, 8 pair in the column. So this must be 8. This is 2, 6, and 7. But this can't be 7. This can't be 6. Those are fine. This can't. It's 3, 4, 8, but this can't be 8. Nine cannot be here, and it cannot be on the Ren band, so the 9 has to be here. This can't be 2. So this is 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This can't be 2, though. So this can't be 1. If this is 1, it needs to be 2 and 3 with it on the Ren band, and that's not allowed. So this can't be 1. This can't be 9, actually, because of this 9. So that makes this 7, which makes that a 9. This can't be 7 here. So where is the 7 in box 2? It has to be here, which means this can't be 7. This can't be 7, which forces this to be 7 in box 8. This can't be 9 because of that 9, so this must be 1, which makes that a 9. The remaining digit in column 6 is an 8. So that's an 8, which makes that a 6, which makes that an 8. The remaining digits in column 4 are 1 and 6. This can't be 6 because of that 6, so this must be 1, which makes that a 6. This can't be 1 here. Eight cannot be on this Ren band. And 9, where is 9? 9 can't be here, 9 can't be here, 9 can't be here. 9 can't be on the Ren band because 8 cannot be either. So this must be a 9 here. So since this is 9, this is 7, this is 9. The remaining digits in row 7 are 1, 3, 4, and 6. The remaining digits in row 9 are 1 through 5, but you cannot have a 3 there. So it's 1, 2, 4, 5, but this can't be 5. Remaining digits in row 8 are 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. This can't be 5 or 7. So this is at minimum 2, 3, and 4 here. So therefore, if the the maximum for the lowest digit is a 4. So it has to be at most 4, 5, and 6, which means 7 cannot be on here. Where is the 7 in row 8? It has to be here. So this is 7, which means this can't be 7. So it's a 2, 6, 2, 6 pair in row 6, which eliminates 2 and 6 in the rest of the row. Therefore, this is a 7 here. This could be 1, 2, 3. It could be 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. So we don't know what that is. This is 7. 8 cannot be here. Remaining digit here is 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. What do we have? Where is 1 in column 2? 1 can't be any of these, so one of these is 1, which means this can't be 1 here. So 1 has to be one of these 2 cells in column 2. Okay. Where is 5? 5 is either one of these 3, but that's still kind of broad. Where are these 2 digits in box 9? They have to, these 2 digits have to be the same as those 2 digits. Okay. Which means they are, okay. Well, it's too much coloring here going on, so let's remove this coloring because we already used that. Where are these 2 digits? One of them has to be on this Ren band. We're not sure which. One of these 2 digits has to be one of these 5 digits here. So this can be 1 and 2. If this is 1 and 2, this is, oh, this can't be 1 and 2. Right? So this cannot be 1 and 2 here. Okay, so maybe that's the better way of looking at it. If this is 1 and 2, so this, what are the possibilities, I guess, is the question. This could be 1 and 2, but this cannot be 1 and 2. So therefore, this can never contain a 2, right? It could be 1 and 5 here, but 2 requires a 1 also here, right? Because you can't have a 1 on a Ren band without a 2. So if this tries to be 1 and 2, this would have to be 1 and 2, but that's not possible because of the way this is set up. So 2 can never be here, which means 2 has to be here. So this is 2. This cannot be 2. This cannot be 2. 2 is one of these 2. So this is either, well, this is either 4 and 5 or it's 1 and 5 because this is 2 with something. So 5 can never be here. This has to be a 5. So 5 is with 1 or 4. Well, 5 cannot be either of these, therefore this must be a 5 here. 5 can't be any of these or any of these, so it must be here. So this is a 5 then, which means this can't be 5. This has to have a 4, so 4 cannot be outside of this Ren band in this box. So 4 is here. You cannot have a 1. So this can't be 1, so therefore this is a 1. Since this is a 1, that means 1 cannot be either of these cells, which forces this to be 1, which means this can't be 1, this is a 4, which makes that a 3, therefore this is a 1, and it's a 1, 2, 3 triplet here. This can't be 1 or 3, so this must be 4. This can't be 4 here, so this must be 3, which makes that a 4. This 3 means this can't be, and 4 means this can't be 3, 4, it's 1. So none of these are 4. This can't be 4. One of these is 4, so this can't be 4. We now have a 3, 8, 3, 8 pair in row 5, which eliminates 3 and 8 from the rest of the row. So this is 4. This can't be 5. So the only other place for 5 in row 1 is here. This can never be 2 on the same rim band as 5. So now we have a 3, 4, 6 triplet in box 7, which eliminates 3, 4, and 6 in the rest of the box. This can't be 3, therefore it must be 2. This has to be an 8 then. This 2 makes this a 3, which makes that a 2. This 8 makes this a 3, which makes that an 8. This 2 makes this a 6, which makes that a 2. This 3 makes that a 6, so this cannot be 6. It has to be 3 and 4 here. This can't be 2, therefore this must be 2 here. This 4 means this can't be 4, so this is 3, which makes that a 4. That's 3 in the corner. We celebrate because we know we're getting close to finishing. This can't be 4 because of this 4, so this is 3, this is 4. This 4 makes this a 3, which makes that a 4. It also makes this a 4, and that a 3. This 4 makes that a 3, which makes that a 4. And that's how you solve it. Pretty cool, actually. I like this interaction here, where this part had forced these two to be a certain specific, certain digits. Also, the Ren band also being a region sum line is kind of, I don't know. I've done it before, so maybe that's why I was so easily able to solve this part. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Nice job, Megan. I had a good time on this one, and I hope you had a good time watching this solve. And I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.